This hour's programming is brought to you by Big Vision Design. The team at Big Vision Design wants to see your business or nonprofit thrive. With over 20 years of experience in helping small businesses and nonprofits like yours build strong, loyal audiences, our cross-disciplinary agility matches the uniqueness of your organization and customer base for real results. Visit them online at bigvisiondesign.com.
You're listening to KONNLP, Kansas City, 100.1 FM.
Hi, and welcome back to The Blend on Kansas City Radio. This is Lisa, and I'm happy to bring Jordan and Sasha Marcotte of a Second Chance duo. Met them at the Reserve. Was it the Reserve? In the Ambassador Hotel a couple of weeks back. Seems like a long time ago. Yeah. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. They're going to introduce themselves through a song right now, and then we'll talk to them a little bit more later. But we're going to hear them and get to know them today. So you guys take it away.
All right. Well, baby, I think you and I are going places. Oh yeah, we're going places. For heaven's sake, we can make history, oh, history. And we don't need our name in no books to be remembered. And we don't need our name in no lives to be known. Yeah, let's change the save it with our love, and we'll shine so bright like it's the middle of the night. Love is a word that we've all heard, but can't find the definition. We could use the clarity to a world in need. Oh, if we just believe beyond what we can see. 'Cause we don't need our name in no books to be remembered. And we don't need our name in no lives to be known. Yeah, let's change the world. Let's save it with our love. And we'll shine so bright like it's the middle of the night. Well, this world, it needs some hope. One that will not disappoint you when you're feeling low. In this world, it needs some healing. There is a cure for all the pain inside that you've been keeping. Girl, let's change the world. We can change it. Let's save the world. We can save it with our love. Ooh, with our love, babe. Oh, let's change the world. Together we will see our love shine bright through you and through me.
Woo, nice. Thank you. That was actually a perfect introduction because I do already know a little bit about you.
Yeah.
Right? So talk to us a little bit about how you guys got started.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
tell us the story.
Yeah, we met back in January of 2013. And long story short, I saw Sasha get up, and she had just started kind of writing songs, and she sang her song, and I was really, really smitten.
I was very new.
She was
new,
but I was
just learned how to play the guitar, so I was very nervous and scared to be. It was like a room of 20 people, but I was still scared.
Right.
So I knew that I had to get to know her. She was in town visiting, and went back to Hawaii where she was living at the time.
Uh-huh.
Moved back 6 months later, and music kind of just became the thing that kind of like inspired our friendship. I remember asking my good friend at that time what
he and his fiance at the time were going to do for their first dance.
Uh-huh.
And they had no idea, so I was like, yo, let me just write it. So I started writing this song and asked Sasha to come, and so it was like to help me write it, and it was really silly because it's like, okay, here's our first time really hanging out, yet we're sitting down to write the most intimate love song.
Right.
But it kind of spurred on this whole friendship. We played it live for them and took it to the studio, and that was about 6 years ago, give or take.
Wow. Was
That's
that the
kinda what
song you just
started
played?
No, that song was
A different song.
long gone, yeah.
Okay.
But anyways, many songs since then.
But the song you just played is original?
That is original.
Okay.
Yeah.
So talk to us about that one.
So that song, we were on our honeymoon. Yeah.
We're staying at the Ace Hotel. It's like downtown in LA, and they put a Martin guitar in a lot of the rooms because a lot of musicians stay there. So just kind of grabbed it off the wall and started playing. And he had kind of started the song, and so we just sat down and started playing it, started piecing it in. And being newlywed, we kind of were going on this journey of just like, what do we want our marriage to look like? What do we want our story to tell the world? And so I think history is really written about that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Great start. I don't think many people write songs on their honeymoons. They should probably add that to their repertoire.
Come on,
Yeah. So the wedding thing, is that something that you do like on the regular? Is it something that you like to do, is write first dance songs? Or?
Yeah, it's actually how the duo kind of started, because we started a business before we officially started a duo. And it was called Song and Story. We would take people's stories, write them, and then come and perform that as their first dance, so that they didn't have to compete with top 40 other people playing the same song. You know, anyone can get an Ed Sheeran song.
Right.
But what about if you could have your own story being your song?
Right.
But then people started thinking that was our band. When we were on Instagram, they're like, oh, Song and Story, cool band. And we're like, yo, that's not our band. But we don't have a band. So, again, long story short, we nixed that. And Second Chance came about. And we landed with that name and began the duo from there. So we love playing weddings. We don't do the songwriting for them as much, but we perform quite a bit for them. So
You do?
yeah.
Yeah. So where are you, what do you have coming up? What are you playing next? Venues?
So we actually have our very first concert. I mean, we've been playing live around Kansas City and traveling and doing things, but this is kind of like our first concert. So we rented a venue called El Torreon, and we're going to be playing on the 31st of May. And we're really excited about it.
That's a great historic venue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sweet.
Right there near Martini Corner.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So they can stumble over
Correct.
from their martinis and then go back after they've heard some great music.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we can walk from our house, so that's great.
That is nice. That is nice.
Yeah.
So when I heard you, one thing I wanted to disclaim a little bit on the radio station is that we're setting you up here with some microphones and stuff. We're not blending you as perfectly as what we hear you when you're on point on stage. Do you want to give some shout-outs to your other compadre? Because I want to, I guess, emphasize to the audience how perfectly pitched you guys were. I mean, like, perfectly blended, perfectly pitched. It was beautiful.
Thank you.
And you still are. I'm just basically disclaiming the limitations of our studio.
100%, yes. Jacob Bothell has been our sound engineer for the last few months, and he has been... It does take a lot of work on our end, of course, to try to blend well together. That's one big thing. He'll always say, I'm not doing anything. You got to have good input before you have good output.
Right.
But he's served us really well. So Jacob Bothell, shout out to you. You're amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. So what are you going to play next for us?
Next, I think we're going to go ahead and do one of our favorite cover mashups and renditions.
Okay.
Expressed our way. It's Can't Take My Eyes Off of You in LOVE.
Nice.
Done the way we do it.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Ready?
You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. You be like heaven to touch. I wanna hold you so much. At long last, love has arrived, and I thank God that I'm alive. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. And I need you, baby. it's quite alright, I need you, baby, to warm the lonely nights. I love you, baby. Trust in me when I say okay. And oh, pretty baby, don't let me down, I pray. Oh, pretty baby, there are no words to say, just let me love you. Baby, let me love you away.
Well, pardon the way that I stare, there's nothing else that compares. The sight of you leaves me weak. There are no words left to speak. So if you feel the way I feel, just let me know that it's real. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you.
And I need you, baby. If it's quite alright, I need you, baby, to warm the lonely nights. I love you, baby. Trust in me when I say okay. And no, pretty baby, don't let me down, I pray. Oh, pretty baby, there are no words to say, just let me love you. Baby, let me love you away.
Well, L is for the way you look at me.
O is for the only one I see.
V is very, very extraordinary.
He is even more than anyone that
You adore, and love is all that I can
give to you.
Love is more than just a game.
Game for two.
Two in love can make.
Take my heart, but please don't break.
Love was made for me and you. Oh, pretty baby.
Don't let me down, I pray.
Pretty baby.
There are no words to say.
So would you let me love you, girl?
Yes, I will let you love me
Always.
Wow. So when I first heard you, I came into the room. I don't know if you guys remember because you were deep in a set, but walked into the room. You were already singing. Didn't get a chance to actually engage with you until you were done that night, but really appreciated the chemistry that you had. So it adds so much more to know that you're actually married. It's like super, super touching in a really special way. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. And then what projects are you working on right now that you'd really like to talk about?
Yeah, so that first song you heard, History, that's the theme of this EP that we're working on. And it'll be about a 4 or 5 song EP. It's our first recording endeavor, really, and kind of a complete project. We've been writing it with actually Lauren Scott, who's in the room right now. So big shout out to her. She's from Atlanta, one of our best friends. And it's just been really cool on the production end and on the songwriting end to be able to partner with people that really see our vision. And yeah, it's just always fun when you keep it in-house and you can do it with family, so to speak, some of your closest friends. So,
Okay.
yeah. Anything else you want to say about it?
No, we're really excited.
We're stoked, yeah.
Yeah, the duo actually just officially started after we got married, though we've been doing music together for the past 5 years. It's really fun to see how everything's unfolding. And so with the album, we're starting it, so it's just really exciting to actually see it all come to life.
And that's going to be available when? On what?
Goodness, I mean, we're hoping. So we're planning a fall tour, and we're hoping that it'll be able to be released August or September. We're going to wrap it end of July.
Okay.
That's the goal, and then we'll prep it and get it out. So
28th's my birthday. If you want to wrap that day, that's a good
Okay.
day.
Hey.
It has good mojo.
There you go. We'll send you a vinyl.
That'd be be great. I don't have a turntable though. Darn it. Okay, so then we're gonna go to a break. Do you guys have another one for us? Another song?
We could sing another one.
Let's do another one.
Let's do it. You're not the reason my heart keeps beating, but it beats faster when you're around. When I say that I can't control my emotions, I'm just playing. I know I can, I'm just saying that I could live without you, baby, but I don't wanna. And I could live without you, baby, but I'm not your reason for living. Trust me, I'm not. But living could look like it's living. Together we could go further together than alone. But that's up to you, babe. 'Cause I could live without you, baby, but I don't wanna. And I could live without you, baby, but well, I'm not the kind of man to sit here begging, please. But I would get down on one knee, saying I could live without you, baby. And you could live without me, baby. The world could live without us, baby. But what I'm trying to say is that I'm here to stay. I wanna go. Cause I could live without you, baby, but I don't wanna. And I could live without you, baby, but I don't wanna.
So that one makes me curious. What's it like, I think, to live a life together that's centered on music? Like, do you cook breakfast singing together?
Depends on the day.
Depends on the day sometimes.
We're mad at each other now.
I mean, it's just learning how to. There's another duo that I don't think says it. No one says it any better than the way that they do, where a lot of people ask them, like, how do they balance it? And they're like, we don't. It's more learning how to dance than anything else. And I think with music kind of being something that is dear to us, like our marriage and our relationship has to trump that, even for things like this to even, make sense and to be enjoyable. Because we love music individually and we have our own stories with it. But I mean, there's been sets where we're arguing on the stage, straight up.
Really?
Oh yeah, I remember we were at a gala at the Midland Theater, that big old theater.
Right.
And we're up there and we're having a full-on fight while all these people are in the room.
We're full on fire. We're just frustrated with each other.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah.
So what did you finally settle on? What was it? Was it about what you were going to play next?
Oh, I mean, I don't even know if I fully remember.
Most of the time it's very dumb. And it has nothing to do with music.
It doesn't.
No, it never does. A lot of times expectations or things that we bring into it. So it's actually like really helped us learn to do that very thing is dance. Learn how to create the dynamic of just like sometimes music needs to, there's times where we have to make it the priority and then there's times where we have to actually set it down and deal with this first and then it makes that next thing better.
I think there's a very natural like ebb and flow for us. Like, and I think for Jordan, he's been doing music a little bit longer than I have. So it was very, very much a part of his life before we got married. So I think there's moments where I'm like, okay, put the guitar down. Let's just be together. Like there's times where we have to tell each other, like, let's focus on this part. And now this is practice time. We need to focus on rehearsing.
And we're still learning it. But
Right. I love that you brought up that contrast in your life because, and that story from the gala, right? Because to look at you or to listen to you and to think about that, I think from outside of your relationship, you'd think that you're like always like you are in song, right? And not necessarily just living out real relationship things.
Right. And that's something that's become like and continues to become very important to us is that we know that we perform, but we don't want to fake this.
Uh-huh.
And it's just something that doesn't work unless this is good. Your mic's falling. And so if there's anything that we're learning and that we want to be about is that the music is awesome, but we hope that the chemistry and what you see is not a facade. It really is like we're working hard to make sure that we can smile when we're saying, I love you. And we're not just putting
really
it on a front, you know what I mean?
Right.
So anyhow.
Yeah. So what's a writing process look like for you or your workflow? What does your workflow look like as a couple who works together on this? And do you have other jobs or is this your main gig? Just talk to us a little bit about that.
We would love for it to be our main thing. We're working very hard for that to be a reality. I work part-time, though, at Baldwin on the Plaza.
Uh-huh.
And Jordan, he plays and leads worship at a church.
Okay.
So,
So when you get together to do your work, when's that usually happen and what's that work session look like?
It varies so much. Like I said, we co-write a lot with Lauren, and it could be a melody, it could be a concept, an idea, and it could literally be driving down the street, oh my gosh, this melody and this lyric sounds so sweet, let's record it into our iPhone, let's sit down and try to work on it, shoot it down to Lauren in Atlanta, what do you think? Then there's some that like Lauren will write the whole thing, and then she'll pass it over to us, and then we kind of finesse it to make it be kind of our sound and fit, whatever. But honestly, to try to lock down and tell you that there's one system to do this would be absolutely impossible. I think disciplined writing's good. We do try to get into a room and say, let's try to accomplish X, Y, and Z. Sometimes we can knock something out in 30 minutes. Sometimes we have songs that we've sat on for a year, 2 years, and we fix it as we go. So maybe some people have better systems. We don't yet.
No, it's all right.
It's
Everybody has their own way, and I guess what I like to uncover in the show for both people listening as a consumer of the music and both artists that might be in our community thinking about how to further their own work is like, what are all those ways?
Authenticity has to be number one. I think for us, we're not looking to write the next, jam, although we love writing jams.
Right.
We're not just going to throw something in a song just to do it. We really have messages to convey. We want to be able to 5 to 10 years from now sing these songs that we're singing for you and be like, dude, our guts are still in this song. We're just as passionate about singing history 10 years from now at 40 as we are right now at 29.
Wow.
That's what we want. So
that's cool. That's a good vision to have.
Yeah.
I think and a good calibrator for the work that you're doing.
Yeah.
The last song you did, what do you think was the sort of the headwater of that flowing forward? Because that very first thing you said, when I say I can't control my emotions.
Yeah, so that
got
song, that song started a little bit more into our story. Second Chance comes from a really rough time in our life back in 2015 where we actually were engaged once and broke it off less than a month later. It went through a really rough heartbreak. A lot of people write a lot of love songs that are like, oh my God, I would die without you, take a bullet to the brain, whoa, who am I without you? And I just think that I would never slam someone for the emotions that they feel.
Right.
But the reality is that I could live without Sasha. I just really, really, really did not want to. So that opening line is, you're not the reason my heart keeps beating. It just beats a little faster when you're around. And then I say that I can't control my emotions. I'm just playing. I know I can. I'm just saying that I can live without you. I just don't want to. And that song, that was 5 years ago.
Wow.
I started writing that chorus and really didn't finish the song until a month ago. As simple as the song is, some things take time to really land and just become. Like you really sometimes need songs to become, and you need to live the rest of it for it to happen. And so it's really cool to see that now, because that's what I mean, everyone experiences love so differently, but I'm like, I think that everyone wants a healthy relationship. Come on.
Right.
If they're going to get in one, they want one that's going to last, but they got to know what it is.
Exactly.
And that's what that song's all about. Don't want to. Could live without you, just really don't want to. And now I don't have to.
That's so cool.
So there you go.
You have to finish sort of the actual story in order to finish the song story.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
Not to harken back to your old name. So this is, I told you this was going to be kind of organic, and we're flowing in and out of conversation. Do you want to do another song? Do you have another song? Because I've now extended my initial request of 3. Okay. We'd be on 4.
Yeah, we can do
it. You want to do it?
Yeah.
We'll do a song called Second Chances. It's kind of our anthem song.
Let's do it.
When I first met you, I didn't think that it would go this way. And learning how to love you, I said things that I didn't mean to say. Now these words, they've got me sinking in deep sand. Still you are reaching out your hand to give me second chances. Get back up and try it again. I believe that love can win with a second chances. Get back up and try it again. I believe that love can win with a second chance. Broken promises, I never meant to break your heart. And pages of mistakes, expected you to write me off. Now these words, they've got me sinking in deep sand. Still you are reaching out your hand to give me second chances. Get back up and try it again. I believe that love can win with a second chances. Get back up and try it again. I believe that love can win with a second chance. Despite what we've been through, still you say I choose you. Some would say I've got what I need and now I'll leave. Would you give me what I don't deserve? Picking up from lessons learned, and now we're giving second chances. Yeah, yeah. Second chances. Get back up and try it again. I believe that love can win with a second chances. Get back up and try it again. I believe that love can win with a second chance.
Nice. Obviously, another original piece.
Another
right?
original, yeah.
All right, earlier you mentioned that you each have your own stories around music, right? Before you came together?
Yeah.
So talk to us a little bit about that. Sasha, go first.
Yeah. So, no, he's always told you he always has something to say. So for me, I actually didn't really start. I knew I could sing from a pretty young age. I didn't have a lot of confidence around my voice. I grew up performing. I traveled with my family. I was actually a dancer growing up. And so I was comfortable on a stage and comfortable in front of people, but music kind of just wasn't my thing yet. And I just would kind of sing in my bedroom by myself and in the shower. And from time to time, people would hear me sing and be like, wow, you have such a great voice. And I'd be like, kind of like, oh, I do, like internally, like, oh, wow, okay. Actually, I'm not just hearing myself and think that I'm decent, but other people think so too.
Uh-huh.
And so I still didn't actually really pursue it till I was about 23, and I actually went to Hawaii, and that's kind of right before we met, and kind of started to study music, and just being in front of people and singing was kind of my first time when I was 23 years old. And then I met Jordan not long after that, and our interaction, and then from then on, he's just been a huge voice of encouragement and has really pushed me beyond where I ever thought I could go. So,
wow.
Yeah. That's me.
Wow. Jordan, what about you?
Yeah, not everyone has liquid gold just coming out of their mouth. Just born with it. Yeah, like a lot of people, cut my teeth in the church about 17, 18, started late. Grew up a martial artist my whole life, actually. Music, could not sing, could not play at all. And so, yeah, I jumped in at like 17, 18. People started giving me like just kind of small opportunities to try to sing, and just grew really fascinated with it, honestly, and picked up a piano around that time. And my senior year of high school, I just remember locking myself in my room and just playing and realizing, like, man, I love communicating this way and expressing myself. That was something that was huge because I had done martial arts since I was 8 years old. Thought I was going to do that the rest of my life. And left all that behind and just started pursuing music from then, and made a few records of my own before we started the duo. And then it was probably like a couple years ago, I'd released a song called Like Wine back in 2016. And that was a big turning point for me. It was the first time that I felt like I could connect, express myself in a real way. Started writing love songs that I was like, man, this is what I want to do. We were broken up at this time, not back together yet, and thinking this is very contradicting. I should be writing different songs other than more love songs, but I am. And so, yeah, I mean, the journey's been pretty steady since 17 or 18 years old, but I can definitely say that I'm more excited about this than I have been anything else in the last 10 years. So,
very cool.
Yeah.
What would you say would be maybe one of your most challenging experiences together around the music, besides the argument on the Midland Theater?
What do you think?
So actually learning how to write together has been quite the process for us. Even though like our technical like first date was doing that, and that was very natural, actually. We finished that song very quickly, and I had just started writing at that point. It'd probably only been about 6 months since I had even tried to attempt to write my first song. And so just I knew that writing with him was a trusted place, but since we've been married, I think just the challenge of learning how to like live together and do life and then write music, and I don't know, I think.
Yeah, I think learning how to back off a little bit, like, and enjoy it again. Sometimes we kind of have to do that. Like, you're trying to make this your career, and there feels like a lot of pressure a lot of times. When back in the day, I wasn't like quick to, this could be the next jam, or this could, let me get my recorder. Sometimes it was just like, I just love doing this, man.
Right.
Like, let's make something. So I would agree with Sasha. Like, I think it's just a vulnerable place, and sometimes insecurities can creep into that, and it can become a big shutdown versus something that feels like it's flowing really good creatively.
So do you ever have something that you want to put into verse that maybe you haven't talked about in person, and then one of you goes, whoa, I didn't know that was up for you?
Well, not yet.
Not yet, but it could happen.
We've
maybe.
only been married a little over a year, so I'm sure at some point that's going to happen.
Sure.
Yeah. And that makes me wonder also, for you guys, do the lyrics flow first? Or do you hear a tune?
I'm pretty melody driven, so a lot of times for me, I'm going to hear a melody before I know what I'm going to say over it. I think you're pretty strong melody-wise, too.
I like establishing, I consider myself like more of an anthem writer. So I love grabbing something, like, I could live without you, I just don't want to. Like, let me grab one very strong thing for everyone to, like, sing.
And then
and
build
so
around
between
that.
both of us, and then I love developing the musical aspect. This stuff is so fun for me. So I think we're opposite, which works really well. Because sometimes I could have a really cool thing I want to say, and she's hearing, melodic stuff that's really beautiful. So
you blend the two together. What about when you incorporate Lauren?
Lauren is a lyrical genius.
She's amazing.
She has a way of hearing stuff and putting things together that's absolutely insane.
So usually
Seriously.
if we get stuck, it's like the first thing we do. Or even before we call her, it's the first thing we say. We're like, maybe we should ask for it.
It's been fun to learn strengths and weaknesses because you got melody lady, you've got dude that loves to put music or anthems together, but then Lauren helps us piece this thing from top to bottom.
Right.
And really, she'll always her slogan is "We could beat that."
We can beat that.
We can beat that.
It's so true.
So it is good to have someone that's like, can we pass this song through Lauren and be like, all right, we're ready to take this thing live. We could beat that.
Yeah,
so.
that's cool. That's cool. I almost want to ask Lauren what she means by that. What do you mean by that? She's out here.
Hi. It's just, it's like if something could be stronger. You know, you could say it better.
Yeah.
The melody could be catchier, more convincing, more singable. Yeah, it's like
So I get it.
idea, but we could take it up.
We can beat that.
Yeah.
My mom has a similar meaning but different phrase. She says that could be more better, and she knows it's not proper English, but it's what we say in our family.
I love that.
Sometimes she gets in trouble for more bettering, but most of the time she's right. It could be more better.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I feel like I could see that on a shirt.
yeah, more better.
Yeah.
Especially like if you took the R or the RE off, right? For mo better. Yeah. So, if there's another song that you want to do, you can do that now, or we could talk some more about other projects that you may have going.
What do you want to do?
I was really worried we were going to talk more than we were going to play, but
Yeah.
it's been kind of a perfect balance.
I don't know what song you want
I don't know what song I want to do either.
Freestyle. Freestyle.
That's definitely not my thing. I can.
Oh, dang.
I don't know the title of the song, but one of the ones that you played when I was there that was lovely it was the last one I think you played was,
I Ain't Got You, maybe?
yeah.
Can we do that
I
one?
don't have anything if I don't have you. Something like that.
That's
You know
not
what I'm
our
talking-
song.
It's not our song, but we could do it.
Yeah, it's a cover.
Would you love playing that one live?
You do a good job.
Some people live for the fortune. Some people live just for the fame. Some people live for the power. Yeah. Some people live just to play the game.
And some people think that the physical thing define what's within. But I've been there before, and that life's a bore so full of the superficial. Some people want it all, but I don't want nothing at all. If it ain't you, baby, if I got you, baby. Some people want diamond rings, some just want everything, but everything means nothing
If I ain't got you. Some people search for the fountain that promises forever young. Some people need 3 dozen roses. That's the only way you prove you love them.
hand with the world on a silver platter, and what would it mean with no one to share and no one who truly cares for me? Some people want it all, but I don't want nothing at all. If it ain't you, baby, if I got you, baby. Some people want diamond rings, some just want everything, but everything means nothing if I ain't got you.
All right, well, we're gonna wrap it up. Is there anything else you'd like to say about yourselves, or anything that's coming up for you?
Yeah, so we're making the album, and then in the fall we're going to go on our first tour. So we're going to do a house tour to promote it, heading up east, coming back through, and going west. So that's pretty much the things that we're working on over the next few months.
Yeah. Awesome. Good luck on that. And then the concert coming up at El Torreon?
Yeah, El Torreon, May 31st.
May 31st. Mm-hmm. What time?
5 tickets left.
5? What? Really?
So we did one tour. We had 125, and then we opened it up 30 more, and then we've got 5 left.
Yeah,
So
are you going to open it more?
We can't unless we change venues.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's very encouraging.
All right, well, 5 tickets left, folks. Dang. Yeah. That's a good problem to have.
It is.
All right, and then you can find them at Second Chance Duo. Second Chance Duo. All right, thanks for coming on, guys.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you. This has been Lisa on The Blend at One Kansas City Radio.
Mid-Continent Public Library is proud to partner with One Kansas City Radio to uplift multicultural voices in the community. With an MCPL card, you can stream and download popular tunes through Frigo Music or explore different genres and styles through MCPL's other online resources, such as Jazz Music Library and more. Visit mymcpl.org/new card to get started using the library's free music resource